Crafty Babes, Andrea back, and welcome to another look inside my family album. Last time we ended around the end of April, and we're just going to finish out April and see how far we get. Hopefully we can finish this album, and then we can all share what I've done so far in my third album. This is a 6x8, well, that's actually an A5 page. I use these grid planner pages from Felicity Jane, and they fit perfectly in here. They're a little less wide, you know, they're a little shorter than a 6x8, but they fit really nicely, and you could always add some tabs to make them feel a little wider, but I like the size, nice and compact. Here I used this one photo to talk about space to breathe. I love this road in our town. It's lined with beautiful green trees in the spring and summertime. And it's just usually a wide open road. It's a main road too, but it's not very well traveled a lot of the times. So it was nice to have nobody on this road in front of me. I used some Felicity Jane alphas, and here I ran out of E's, so I actually used a 3 and then flipped it around. So you can definitely change things up. If you run out of E's, there's always a 3 that you haven't used, I bet. Again, with the grid kind of collage-y sort of format, I'm really loving it. It just helps me get the things down, save some room for journaling, use the supplies that really speak to me and that I want to use, and I get them done pretty fast. Always good idea to use flashcard if you have one. They're just super fun. For this one, I used it for the opposite side of this Felicity Jane project that I did when I was on the design team about Marshall and I having some ice cream after school, and I just loved these colors. The mint and the cream looked just so good together with all of these really fun colors. I don't remember which kit this was because it was so long ago, but you can definitely check out the store and see if it's still here or see if it's still available. This is week 18, and that's why I put that 1 and that 8 there. Oh yeah, I was going to get a 6x8 sleeve and throw this little weekly recap in here. I didn't finish it, but I do have, you know, some things filled out, which is always a good thing. These weekly recaps are actually sold in my digital shop. If you're interested, you can head over to retrohipshop.com, and these are a download. I like them because sometimes if I get too far away from the weeks, it's really nice during the week when it's happening to just jot some things down so that when you go back to actually scrapbook, then maybe you remember some of the details. Some of the stuff that doesn't like get captured in the photos necessarily, that's kind of what this is for. So here we saw Avengers Infinity War. Of course, I always wear my Marvel shirt when we go see Marvel movies. This is a really fun page. I'm really happy with how this page turned out. I used all kinds of goodies from one of the kits from Illustrated Faith. This one's designed by Elaine Davis because everything she does is magic. And so I have this picture of Marshall, and I just talked about his unique personality and that I don't want him to lose any of that. And so I used words and sentiments from the Print and Pray kit just about, you know, being expressive and letting your true colors shine, and not to let anybody dim that, because God made him very special for a very special reason, and I just wanted to document that part of him right now. Simple Stories has these really cool downloads for free every month. If you don't if you don't subscribe to their newsletter, give it a shot, because every month they have a really fun collection of, like, you know, printables that have to do with what's happening during the month, and they have them in all the different sizes. So they have them in traveler's notebook sizes and lots of different sizes. And so this is one of the ones that I printed out, and I thought it was just a really fun idea to take a picture of Marshall playing Fortnite, and then the answer for all of these things was Fortnite because that's what he was up to. Here I did a photo collage. Well, I did collage. Look, listen, I'm going to do a lot of grid layouts. It's just my thing right now. So let me stop talking about the format that I'm using. But anyway, I finally got things on the wall at my apartment when we were living there. And this is, again, this is like the beginning of May. So I bought a piece of art from Home Goods and I made my house feel a little bit more like a home. And so I used the titling settling in, but not settling. So I wanted to make it feel cozy, but I didn't want to make anything too permanent. This is a quote I printed out from the interwebs of Carrie Fisher, and I just really loved the quote. And so I took this piece of polka dot paper and I painted black acrylic paint behind, and then used a label, attached it to the label, and then used some mint colored Felicity Jane alphas there, and this little clip. I think this is an Amy Tangerine clip, but it was really fun. Here is Marshall being silly before school and us dropping him off at school so that we can go run some errands. I had the day off, so we went and did some stuff. We went and saw Bye Bye Birdie. It's a youth version of Bye Bye Birdie because our friend, who's an actress, she was in this play. So it was really fun to see that. Week 19. It's basically just a week marker. There are no photos, but I was really having some fun with different colors and using different styles together. I like when I'm able to do this and there's no photo kind of holding me to a certain color scheme. I can just pick the stuff that I like and have fun with that. Here is a layout about a lot of pool time with Marshall. I did this for the summer magazine. This was an inspiration page because these cards are from the summer magazine. And Gibson and I did a little around the town stuff one afternoon. So just took some pictures of us taking Charlie around to the outdoor mall, and a little selfie that he took while he was supposed to be taking a picture of me, which was really fun. Here I started using some thread as some really fun embellishments and texture, and you can see we'll all have some more thread in the next few. We took a little trip, just me and the boys, down the street to take Charlie for a run at the park and get some ice cream. And I just have fun with lots of different colors in this one. I like being able to try to mix a bunch of colors that come from the photos and hopefully make them work together, make them feel cohesive. A very, very real photo of what home looked like at this moment. The apartment was very small. It got cluttered very easily. When you're working on a business, like, you know, I have my own business, my husband has his own business. We were doing both of those things at home, raising two boys. It was very difficult to keep things clean all of the time. But Matt took this photo for me because Gibson actually sat down and ate breakfast before school with Marshall. Usually he would just kind of take off and head to school. I think that Matt knew that I would really, really, really like this. So of course I captured that with a scrapbook page. I had this one picture of me and Charlie snuggling together and took it as an opportunity to use all of the fun colors that I was really loving at the time. This is a 4x6 turned vertically, and then I used these little Avery self-adhesive labels or self-adhesive dividers, and I usually just chop them to be like a little skinny piece, and then I punch holes in them so I don't have to punch holes in the actual card. This cute viewfinder is from one of the Illustrated Faith Print and Pray kits, and it was just really fun to use right there for absolutely no reason, but it fits and it's cute. And this is also from the same kit, this paper and this little sticker. So everything isn't always black and white. Christ allows us shades of gray, pops of color, and time to develop. It was a really fun camera and color themed kit. I used a lot of it. A picture of the boys in front of my mother-in-law and father-in-law's house. We went and dropped off a Mother's Day gift for her while she was out of town on Mother's Day. And then we had a little adventure on the way home. We stopped at a fruit stand and got some fruit, and of course Gibson drove, and then we went and got his car washed. So that was a fun little day. This is an LE Studio project that I did for summertime, and I really loved all of the colors. Just having those blues and mints together, super fun. And on Mother's Day, Gibson brought me home a refresher. I like the Very Berry Hibiscus Refresher with no water, add lemonade. It is super good, perfect summer drink. And he brought it home for me after he got home from work. Here is a little traveler's notebook page that I inserted in here, and I used a glassine bag to put the actual details on, and then slipped in another extra little picture here with some journaling that I slipped right in there. And a picture of what I, on my way with the cart after I went to Trader Joe's. Let's see what else. Oh, Marshall got a little bit of a makeover in his room. And so that was really a fun one too. I used a bunch of little Harry Potter things and some vintage stuff that I had in my stash. Just having fun with color. That's really what this one was about. We have a Quick Quack car wash, and it changes colors inside when you go through the inside of the car wash, and Marshall was really intrigued. So using these fun colors was, again, I'm all about the color. Here I started this page with a piece of vintage dictionary paper, and then I have a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers going on here. The typical triangle is basically like this little cluster up here, this cluster with the photo, and then this little cluster down here. There's nothing on here. I actually just tore the top of the shipping tag off and then just glued it right there so that it appears to be sticking out. And on the other side, I painted some acrylic paint and then did a little clustering with some alphas and then another little cluster down here. We tried to rescue some birds. Our neighbor was very concerned that they were going to power wash the carport and that there was a nest in there. We tried to relocate them. I don't know that they survived, but she was kind of not letting us not help them. And then it turned out that the people that were going to power wash didn't power wash for like another week, and the birds probably would have been just fine. Anyway, it was hard to do that, but Gibson was a champ and he used his tallness to help out with that. Marshall had a music recital, and so I got some really fun pictures of him and his teacher, not his music teacher. And then he and his friend, of course, dabbing with their recorders, and just how hard he worked. I wanted to document that he really did a good job focusing on the recorder. It was a really fun time for him. And we are going to, we're going to make it through. Okay, we're going to make this one quick so we can get through the end of this album. Here, we had started doing a lot of doodling and drawing. I signed up for Rad and Happy's lettering class, and then I actually bought her doodling class because I thought that Marshall would have a really fun time with it, and he did. He really did. He loves to draw things that he sees, and so it was a good non-screen time activity for us to do together. So I have some pictures of him drawing, and I have some pictures of my different hand lettering practicing. And then for a while we had just a jar of pencils kind of really close at hand, and I just loved this photo so much. He's sitting there actually on the iPad, but I still captured kind of what life looked like right then and there. Gibson and I went out and did some shopping for him, and so I used a couple little clustery layered labels over here with some art marks from Illustrated Faith and a really fun picture of he and I. These are rain boots from Mandy Ford. Oh my gosh, so cute. And then some more of the art marks, and I think they call, there's a name for, it's a big, huge full page of just kind of doodles with different sentiments and different statements and stuff. And I love that you can just kind of cut them out willy-nilly, whatever you want. And I print them on clear sticker paper so they can just kind of blend in like they're a background. It was super fun. And it was just all because a surprising rainstorm rolled in, and it rained in May, which is fun. This is Marley, and Marshall will put his hat onto Charlie so that she looks like him. And then we put headphones around her neck and then put the Xbox controller here, and it's just hilarious. More about Charlie, and I got this new pillowcase. It says all you need is love and a dog, and this was kind of fun to just use mint and yellows together. And I like, again, sometimes I like to just pick two colors that are in the photo and then find stuff to build that color scheme around, and that was really fun. A picture of me and Marshall just in the car, and just some things about my current favorites. I got some new sheets. I started doing Pilates again. I was organizing in my studio, and just being out with Marsh, it was really fun. Just a little inserted 3x8 card here. Here Gibson is leaving for his last day of his junior year, and he was very nice enough to let me take a picture of him before he left. Marshall and his cousin went to see Solo with Matt, and so I got one picture of them in front of the little sign, which is super cute, and then just used yellows and blacks to document this one. And I loved that I had this little admit one, even though I wish I had two. I didn't have two, or I would have like layered them. Here is another little clustery, collagey kind of page. Again, this is just all about, yeah, color. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. I just use words and sentiments that fit and feel perfect at the moment. And I still love how they turned out. This is the last day of school for Marshall. So the last day of 4th grade, I did this big old collage page with him and pictures I took of him and his friends on the last day of school. This one was really fun. Everything kind of, you know, has symbolism. It's not just willy-nilly stuff that is thrown on here, like the butterfly, because they've grown a lot this year. And like the flowers, it's, you know, for growth and stuff like that. And then I had this cute little school lunch ticket, which is perfect. And the colors were great. I love when these kinds of pages work out. And I took some photos of the living room when I got my yellow chair. And then these pages are actually for Felicity Jane when I was on the design team for them, and used the all the supplies. I did this 3-page project for that. And that, my friends, is the end of the second album, my family album. And so join me next time, and we will, I'll share some more as we get into the later summer, or actually, yeah, later summer and some fall time. So thank you guys so much for being here and watching, and let me know if you have any questions. Subscribe if you don't want to miss anything, and I will talk to you soon.